it's the Friday morning in May. We all go to the convention area in Broomfield. We're voting against the 4 guys. So we have Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Matthew got 65% of the vote. Okay, so he's a shoo-in now for the primary ballot, and only if another guy gets 30% or more is there even a primary. If it's just Matthew, he gets to zoom on to the general election. Mark got 29.fraction% of the vote. Now, you recall Chris said you needed 30% of the vote to land on the primary ballot. Mark missed his opportunity to land on the primary ballot by 1 delegate vote. 1. And that's another reason that I'm standing here today, because he was rooting for Matthew. And you know what? I had all my delegates vote for Matthew, too. But first of all, I understood at that moment the power that the delegates have. When we talk about like deciding who our candidates are going to be, what if those 4 guys were extremely different from each other? And this guy's thing was fiscal responsibility, and this guy's thing was the environment, and this woman's thing was abortion, and this woman's thing was illegal aliens, right? You have opinions about these things, and some of you care more about this one than this one. And so the delegates are trying to get other people of like mind to go and vote for fiscal responsibility, for example. So if it's this coming year, and here's the fiscal guy, and these other 3 topics, all the Tea Party people are going to vote for the fiscal guy, because we're trying to solve these problems. And yes, the other problems are also important, but if we can't solve the fiscal problem in our country, we're going to go so far down the socialism path we will never get our country back again. So you've got to look at your important issues, figure out which is the most important one to me today based on what's happening in our country today. And while we don't like the idea of babies being killed, I think terrorism ranks higher because terrorism is blanketing everybody. Let's kill everybody, as opposed to the people over here who just want to kill babies, okay? So, all right, killing everybody is worse than killing just babies. All right, but what else do we have? So look at all your choices and focus on which candidate best fulfills your issues. Okay, so we had Matthew and Mark. Luke and John each got less than 10% of the vote, so they were completely out of the race. Mark decided not to petition on, so now we have Matthew, and there's no primary race, right? Wrong. Judas came out of the woodwork. He did a petition, and he was a no-name, and Matthew was a very popular guy, and everyone knew Matthew was going to get voted in to be the next state senator in Douglas County, but we had to go through the process anyway, and there was an August primary race. It cost money. We're giving money to Matthew, just groaning, because we know this is completely unnecessary, and frankly, I don't want to hand over $100 if I don't have to, but Matthew's got to conduct his mail campaign to beat Judas, and sure enough, in August, he beat him, and Judas went back to his farm. So Matthew turned out to be our new state senator from District 4, Mark Scheffel, and Mark Scheffel's doing a great job, and we're very proud of him. But that's really the power of the delegate in a nutshell.
The lesson here is always give money to Matthew.
Wait a minute.
Okay. Questions about the caucus process or the assembly process? Nobody has questions? Okay. If you want copies of these, send me an email. If you want to be on my mailing list or just get a sample newsletter, send me an email. Don't give me scraps of paper. I'm learning that those are hard to manage. The emails are much easier for me to manage. Yes.